Look, LMS Tactical has awesome information and great videos, but he has a very foul mouth. There's terrible language in this video, so don't be stupid and watch it if you're going to be offended. Go watch Honey Boo Boo or some other stupid video. You've been warned.
Well, greetings YouTube, LMS Tactical here. You know, I saw a video, as usual, I don't know the name of the video, and as usual, I'll try and put it in a link to it, but I don't think I've ever kept that promise. I mean well, but scatterbrained. I was going through YouTube videos the other day, and I ran into this video. Some of you may have seen it. There's so many police shootings now because of the body cameras that they wear, and this officer, from whatever state he was in, I can't remember, but he was going apparently to do a welfare check on a guy that may or may not have had some mental issues. And it's in a rural area, and it's all from his perspective, from his body, or actually, strike that, it's from the vehicle's camera. So the vehicle has like a dash cam, and he pulls up, and he's wired though, so you can hear you can hear the sound from the officer. So he pulls up in front of this like a ranch type gate, metal gate, and it's locked. So he climbs over the gate, and he walks. It's a very long opening before anything happens. You hear the gravel crunching, and he goes way the heck back there, way off camera, and he's knocking on a door, and he gets on the radio and says, yeah, there are vehicles here, but nobody's coming to the door. And in the meantime, a truck pulls up next to his car, and this guy and his wife, or a lady there, and this is, you know, a white couple for whatever that's worth, and you know, they get out, the guy gets out, and he's clearly pissed off, and he can't believe that there's a police car sitting in front of his gate. So he opens the gate, then he pulls up, gets out of the truck with a firearm, takes aim, and puts a few rounds through the windshield of the police car. Now the officer hears these gunshots, and he's way far away, but you hear him on the radio, shots fired, you know, he's starting to panic a little bit, and you hear him, he's yelling, sheriff's department, but he's way off, you know, you can't really hear him other than on the radio. So the truck drives out of sight toward where the officer is, and pretty soon you hear, no man, don't do that, don't do it, something like that, please don't do it, don't. Now the officer's running for his life, and understandably so. I mean, you know, but here's where I have an issue with it, and this is not an you know, obviously I'm pro-police, having been one. And the purpose of this video is to reinforce or instill, or at least acknowledge that the proper mindset has got to be in your minds if you're an officer, or if you're in a deadly encounter, no matter who you are. And I'm sure this officer is a good officer and a nice guy, but I didn't see it. I didn't see the mindset here, and I think he's lucky to be alive. Now, I'm going to tell you straight off that the suspect did not die, and the officer did not die, so that's a great outcome. And I understand and I acknowledge that, but there's something to learn through all of these scenarios. And the thing that is learned from my perspective is it's a miracle that either one of them didn't die, and quite frankly, the officer was the most likely to die in this case, and here's why. All of a sudden, you see him running along this gravel road toward the gate, and it's like a nightmare. It's like I'm sure this officer is going to see this in his sleep for the rest of his life. Talk about PTSD. I mean, he's running, no gun in his hand, and I don't know, man, 50 yards behind him, you see this suspect running with a gun in his hand. I mean, this is like, if the suspect would have stopped and took aim, he would have shot this guy and killed this officer. The officer, in a panic, climbs the gate, and then here comes the suspect. Now the officer's out of view behind the police car because it's being filmed from the dash cam. And now you see the suspect right in front of the car, and the officer is like begging him, no, don't do it, don't do it. And then the suspect shoots at him. Officer returns fire, hits the suspect in the right shoulder, it looks like. And then the suspect takes off running away. The officer gets on the radio, says, hey, I'm hit. He gets in the car in a panic. He backs up. He drives out of that area, gets onto a highway, and I mean, he drives miles out of there. And the other units are, clearly this is rural, and backup is a long way off. And a lot of people in the comments were like, holy shit, this cop ran away. you know, that's debatable for a lot of reasons. I'm from LAPD, so I've never worked in an area where backup was that far away. He's rolling along and officers are asking him, hey, where you hit? How bad are you hit? And it turns out, he says, hey, it's just a graze. I'll meet you by the freaking, you know, baseball field or whatever, and the cemetery. And so that's it, basically. Excuse me. Now, I just want to reinforce the reality here. When you put that badge on, or for you civilians, when you carry a weapon, if you're not equipped here and in your heart to do the thing that is you hope never has to be done, which is to take a human life, you shouldn't be carrying a gun and you shouldn't be wearing a badge. And I'm so sorry, because I don't want to talk shit about this cop. Thank God you're alive. But when you are in a situation that goes sideways, as they tend to do, and they do really quickly without any warning, you must stand your ground and fight and not talk on the radio. I've made many videos about this. You don't talk on the radio till the fight is over. You know, you don't ask for help and tell people that you're shot and all. None of that, it means anything. It doesn't mean anything, because by the time your backup gets there, 9 out of 10 times, you're going to be dead, or the suspect's going to be dead, or both of you are going to be dead. You don't have time to be multitasking in a gunfight. You focus on your threat and you put your threat down. That's what you do. Now, in this case, if I heard, you know, hindsight's 20/20, I get it, but it's worth looking at. When you hear gunshots and you're in somebody's property and you know that you shouldn't be hearing gunshots, they're probably coming for you, what do? You take cover. Get cover, you get concealed, and if you want to talk on the radio, talk on the radio. But when you see that suspect, you need to be in a position of advantage, not right there where he can drive around the corner and see you. You already know there's a threat on your life. You just heard it. You just heard the shots coming. So that was the mistake number one. Number two is when you turn your back on somebody and you run and they were holding a weapon and they've already demonstrated that they want to kill you, you might as well just commit suicide, because it's a miracle that this cop lived. It's the only reason he's still alive or not paralyzed from the upper lip down is because the suspect was not level-headed enough to stop, take aim, and do what he was trying to do. Thank God, because he was trying to kill this cop. No doubt about it. He just was fucked up doing it. So, officers, think about this when you're driving to and from work and when you're on your days off. Put it in your head that you are going to stop the threat no matter what. If you're in a place where you don't have backup, or if you got backup 10 minutes away, gunfights are over in seconds, not minutes. So you need to put the guy down, okay? Fucking watch your front sight and put rounds on the target until the target is no longer a threat. That's what you do, okay? And if you get shot in the fucking arm, and you can't use that hand, then you use your other hand. And you should be training on these hands. And you freaking put rounds on target till the threat is down. You get shot in the fucking stomach and your guts are hanging out, you sit there in your own piss and shit and you fucking wait and you get eyes on target and put rounds on the target and you put the threat down. Then you get on the radio and tell everybody what the fuck's going on. Not in the middle of it. That's my take on it, man. I mean, you know, look, it's all about saving lives here, okay? I'm glad that the bad guy didn't get killed. That's awesome. He's probably a nutcase. He probably needs medical care. I don't know. I don't really care, because when it's all happening, you don't have time to think about that shit. The officer, thank God you're okay. I don't know how you're going to live with that memory, because that's got to be scary as fuck, man. So that's like a nightmare. Somebody chasing you with a gun and you're running. I mean, I've never seen anything like it, man. So, you know, we all like to talk about what we would do in a certain scenario, and it's easy to sit in a truck and talk about it. I've been in some of those situations, man, and, you know, I'm not a hero. I'm just a dude, and you know what, though? I'm a dude that's very clear in my head that I'm going to face down my threat until the threat is gone, no matter what. So I hope you guys got something out of this. What are your thoughts? Take care. LMS Tactical, I'm out.